Okay, this is a test take two of the audio on um, my computer here. We'll see if it works. This is Raiden's podcast, episode one, um, brought to you in part by no one. My housemate Calvin. He told me to do it, and the fact that I have a concussion and nothing to do. So yeah, this is my podcast. Gonna be coming to you not live, pre-recorded, for the amount of time that I have a concussion. So basically, yeah. First thing on the agenda today is I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed for this, just because my head still kind of hurts when I look at the light. I need a light so that you guys can see me. Um, but yeah, so first things first, my name is Raiden. I like, I don't know, I like a bunch of different things. I like my alpaca socks that I'm wearing right now. So it's made out of alpaca fur. It's pretty warm. It's been snowing out in Kingston. I'm in Kingston, Ontario, for anyone who doesn't know. And yeah, it's been pretty cold the past couple of days. It snowed a lot. Um, and yeah, it snowed about, I don't know, a foot maybe or more. And then now it's going to be about 3 degrees. So it's all going to melt. And then I'm guessing it's going to freeze again tonight. So it's going to be icy tomorrow, but that doesn't concern me because I have just been in my room the past 2 days, just doing nothing. Been going a little stir crazy. Um, Not yesterday, but the day before, yeah, it was kind of the first day that I got a bad headache from going around and doing stuff. So I decided to just yesterday just really kind of take it more serious, take not doing anything more seriously. So I just stayed in my room and stared at my wall all day, and yeah, it was pretty boring for the most part. Well, it wasn't too boring. I've been meditating lately, so I really focused me on kind of. It was actually quite introspective, quite profound's the wrong word. Or I don't know. I was just able to kind of kind of reflect on what had been going on in my mind. And there was some good, some bad, some stuff about school and at university, and I was kind of worried about falling behind in class. So there's a little bit of anxiety with that, but besides that, there was happiness. I've recently got out of kind of a funk for the past year and a bit, so I've been feeling a lot better in recent months. Been a lot happier, a lot way more okay with everything that's going on, and just happier with life in general. So there was some reflection on that as well. The thing that I really didn't like though is I bought these pillows at a general store downtown. I don't live near the Sleep Country or the Bed Bath and Beyond. All those places are kind of far away. I had to take a bus or an Uber or something to get there. That would have been a hassle. So I just went to a general store about 10, 5 minute walk away. And yeah, just I'd say don't buy pillows at the general store. They are not comfy. Yeah, it's kind of like sleeping on bricks. Soft brick. Yeah, like a soft brick. But yeah, so I've just been trying to either sit in this chair. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. I'm in a chair right now. Or laying on my bed. My bed over there. I don't know. Better not. I'm wearing sunglasses. Plug this in so it doesn't run out of battery. And then, yeah, so, yeah, neither of them are that comfortable. The chair's actually not that bad. It's a bit of a stiff back, but I guess it's got a little bit of give to it. And the bed is okay, but the pillows just really does a number on your neck. So that wasn't. So I would probably spend about 5 to 10 minutes in the chair, just either staring at my wall or closing my eyes, and just trying to focus on my breathing or whatever random thought was going through my head. And then once that got too boring, I'd move to the bed. And I've noticed that I'm more of a side sleeper, so I like laying on my side, but when I'm awake, which I was quite awake, I wasn't able to fall asleep. I like laying on my stomach, kind of with my head over the bed. It was kind of like leaning over the bed, kind of like not cranked or anything, but I don't know, I find that that's just more comfortable for me. Not sure. Yeah, and then when I lie on my back, and my head kind of like, when it wasn't on the pillow, would sink down. And that wasn't very comfortable, but if it was on the pillow, it'd be kind of like upright and be comfortable for a little bit, but then that kind of gets sore. The pillows don't have much give. They're quite turgid. Yeah. Besides that, oh yeah, I made some potatoes and carrots the other day, and I don't know what it is, but I really like my food slightly burnt. I haven't found many other people who like that. I think it might be a function of childhood. I was, I don't know, for as long as I can remember, I really like burnt food. I think my neighbor used to babysit my brother and I a lot. She said that she would burn quite a lot of our food, so maybe that's where it stems from. But yeah, like for as long as I remember, I'd like burnt toast. I like, yeah, just my steak kind of like crispy on the outside, like the kind of charred on the outside, or even chicken. Just like not I don't like it when it's too well done on the inside, but I do like a good charring on kind of basically anything. Yeah, so that's a thing that I deal with. So that anyways, this potato, I just cut up the potatoes really small, and I cut up the carrots really small, and I just laid them all down on a tray, put them in the oven. Olive oil, some rosemary, a bit of garlic salt, and basil. Yeah, just left it in the oven for I have no idea how long. Cooked it at 420 degrees. And then I felt like it wasn't I had the carrots kind of on top. I forgot to just mix them in, so I did the carrots second. So they were kind of on top, and then I was worried that that might have been too high of a temperature and it would have cooked the carrots and left the potatoes uncooked. I don't know why I thought that, but That's just what I thought. So then I put it down to 400 degrees to like slow cook it, kind of. I don't know if 20 degrees Fahrenheit makes any difference at all, but what can I say? I'm concussed, and that's just my thought process for it. So yeah, so then so anyways, I then for like my protein, I've been buying a lot of pork recently. Pork is really inexpensive compared to chicken and steak at the grocery store um, in Canada, at least. I found, yeah, it's like way cheaper. I bought like I think it was 2 kilos of pork. It was all together. It was like a pork loin, and yeah, it's about a week's worth of. You'd like have a one pork loin for each day of the week, and it was $14. And compared to if you like buy, I don't know how many chicken breasts usually. I think anywhere between 2 to 4 chicken breasts, and that's going to be 20. We're like $20 to $25. So it's yeah, you just get a lot more, and then same for steak. Like I know like for steak, it's like if you get like a strip loin at Costco. The people watching this are probably my friends, so they probably have heard me talk about this. I'm just yeah, it kind of just blows my mind. I talk about this a lot, but the strip loin, like this big. I don't know if you guys can see me talking or not, but it's about $150 or so. This big, yeah. And then a pork loin, same amount of money is, or same amount is like $20 or something. So I don't know why pork is so cheap, but yeah, it's good protein as well. And then if you've seen the movie Cowspiracy, it just talks about how much water. To be totally honest, I watched about 50, not even 50 minutes, like 30 minutes of it. That was the only thing I got from it, is that cows use a lot of water. So I guess in the back of my mind, when I eat pork as well, I'm like, oh yeah, saving water as well. Saving money, saving water. So yeah, good double whammy if you're looking, you got that environmental consciousness in your mind, but you're also thinking, man, I like to eat meat and I like to save money. So it's a solid combo that I've been doing, at least. Anyways, so while my potatoes and carrots were cooking in the oven, I had my pork, fried that bad boy up, and yeah, then I ate that first because that only took a few minutes to fry up, and then my potatoes and carrots took way longer than expected, so I was quite hungry by the time they were ready. So I kept coming down to the kitchen. I go to the kitchen, then I come up back into my room because I'm not supposed to be like exposed to too many stimulus, so it's kind of light in the kitchen. So I came back to my room. It's darker in here, so I was just kind of chilling, and I chill for 5 minutes, or what I thought was 5 minutes, but then I checked the time and it was more like 2 minutes. So I did that a few times. Then finally it was ready, and I don't know where it came from, but there was, when I moved in here, there was, I have like a little shelf on so we have, yeah, like my housemates, with my housemate, I share fridge space, so on my fridge area, there was just someone had ketchup. I didn't buy the ketchup or anything, but I think it might have been left from one of the people who lived in this house before they moved out. It was new ketchup, so don't worry, wasn't like 2 years old or something like that. I think it was relatively newly bought. They just must have forgot to bring it. So yeah. So anyway, so I had it with ketchup. So then I had my pork, and probably 25 to 30 minutes later, I had my chicken and potatoes, and then I had it with oh yeah, and I got that good charring that I was talking about earlier, and I had it with some ketchup, just mixed it all together, and oh my goodness, it was amazing. Yeah, if you're looking for a good snack, I was about to call it a good healthy snack, but I'm almost positive it's not healthy for you. Um, yeah, do that. 'Cause, you know, I take a bite, and boom. It's like I could feel the dopamine in the back of my head releasing with each crunch. Because like that charring, it gives it like a good crunch as well. So you have like the savory, kind of have that savory flavor, savory salty flavor of the potatoes, a little bit of sweetness from the carrots, and then you have that good ketchup flavor that kind of just like brings it all together. And yeah, my body was liking it, so I just ate it. I try to eat it slowly at first, really kind of. Sometimes I eat like really quickly and then I feel not so great after. But this time I ate it nice and slow. But as I kept eating, my brain was like firing off. It's like, holy crap, this is amazing. And then I kind of picked up the pace after that. So I ate that. Yeah, and then so I've been trying not to drink coffee while I have had my concussion, but that's really difficult for me. I'm pretty in the caffeine grasp at the moment. Yeah, so it was good. In that, like yesterday morning, I didn't have it in the morning, but then after that, it was like all this huge dopamine rush, and I'm sitting there after my meal. I'm like, oh man, that was amazing. And I think that's the crazy thing about addictions is they goes in there and it attacks you when you're least expecting it. It's just like boom. Before I know it, I was pouring water for the French press, dumping scoops, and then once I realized, I'm like, man, I'm not supposed to have coffee. I'd already made it. And then yeah, I didn't want to waste it, so I drank it. So it got me. And then again today it got me this morning as well. I just smelt my girlfriend. She made it in the morning right before class, and I smelt it this morning, and I said, I'm going for it. So not recommended. So for those of you also experiencing concussion out there, don't drink coffee. But moments of weakness are allowed. It's okay. It's okay. Just get on that bandwagon. So tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Yeah, not gonna beat myself up either way. Yeah. So what happened after that? I think yeah, and then I came back upstairs and I just did more of the same. Kind of a good cycle through sitting in my chair, laying on my bed. So I did that from about maybe like 1:30 to about 5. Yeah, about 5. So yeah, and then my girlfriend came over, and we had dinner here. And that was about it. And just kind of basically went to bed soon after. Oh, actually, I talked with while we were having dinner, I had a good conversation with my housemate. He weird thing though. This is a weird thing. So, kind of little bit of a skeptic. Not skeptic's the wrong word. Maybe skeptic. I'm skeptical that your phone listens to you when it's not on. Because, so my housemate went to some career fair thing, and it was for Capital One. And so this will be interesting. So if I'm gonna say Capital One a bunch. Capital One, and we'll see. Well, I'm not looking at my phone, but maybe the people in my house, maybe they'll be like, "Oh, Raiden's been talking about Capital One for a bit. We'll send the people that Raiden knows advertisements about Capital One, and then they might talk to Raiden about Capital One, convince him they get a Capital One credit card." But anyways, back to my point. Is I think listeners are focused. He went to a Capital One career fair thing. Capital One is looking for data analysts and software engineers if you're looking for a job. And he was telling me about that. And then soon after that conversation, Nina, my girlfriend, on her Instagram feed, the first advertisement she sees, Capital One advertisement. So yeah. So I don't have scientific evidence, but I have anecdotal evidence. So take that, science. But anyways, yeah. So I was talking with my housemate, having dinner with Nina. Was talking about how riveting my day was. Basically, same details that I gave you. Going back between, I was about to say couch, but chair and bed. And then that potato, carrot, pork thing. And then repeat. And then Calvin said, "Oh, Raiden, you should do a podcast or something, maybe to pass the time." I was like, you know what? That is a great idea. So, yeah, so now I'm sitting in my room with my eyes closed because I don't want to hurt my head, and just talking to my computer. And then that way, if someone walks in, I can just say I'm making a podcast instead of I'm just sitting in the dark talking to myself, which I was doing not yesterday, but the day before. Yeah, that was. Ugh. Don't get a concussion, folks. It takes you to some weird places. But yeah, so yeah, I have a good excuse to just talk and vent about life and things. So yeah, so that's basically my life at the moment. Weird thing about Ontario, they have bags of milk. This is, yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess for the people who see this who aren't from Ontario, yeah, they don't have jugs of milk here. They have bags of milk, which is really weird if you've never lived here before. And it's really weird if you're from Ontario and you go and live anywhere else, because they're like, "Where are all the bags of milk?" And everyone looks at them and says, "Bags of milk? What?" But then when you're on the opposite end, and it's like, "Where are all the jugs of milk?" And then all the Ontarians look at you like, "Jugs of milk? What?" So yeah, that's a weird thing about if you're thinking of, if you're Ontarian, thinking of moving outside of Ontario, something to keep in mind. And if you're not from Ontario and looking to move to Ontario, that's another thing to keep in mind. So yeah. What's some other advice of things that have happened in my life. I Oh yeah, I've been working at Starbucks recently, so I've been baristaing. Um, it's going good so far. I think the most challenging part is this is pretty typical. Remembering people's names. Yeah, it's like there's like repeat customers a lot, and it's just like I remember the face, but I'm like and I should be like, oh hey, person's name, enter here. But I'm just like I'm not so great at it yet, so I've been trying to develop that. Trying to That's where I want to get eventually in my barista skill level is to see the person, recognize the name, know who like I'm pretty good with the face, so I'll recognize the face, be like, you've definitely been here before, and then I want to be like, this is your name and this is your drink order. So I've been trying to learn that. It's going okay so far. I think, yeah. So like in terms of, I'm pretty good. So there's kind of like 4 sections, 4, 3 maybe. I don't know, either 4 or 3. So there's usually like you're either on the cash, and so you're just taking people's orders, and then you on the cash you're responsible for getting just regular teas and regular like coffees, so brewed coffee, so Pike Place, blonde roast, and dark roast. Also sometimes called the bold roast, dark roast and bold roast synonymous. Same with blonde roast and light roast, synonymous, and then medium roast and Pike Place, synonymous. But so yeah, you're responsible for doing that, and then oh sorry, I've also got a bit of a cold, so if you hear some sniffling, that's just me. I might excuse myself to blow some disgusting snot. Anyways, that was too much information. Apologies. Apologies to the weak stomachs in the crowd. But yeah, what was I saying? Starbucks. Oh yeah, so there's that cashier, then you're on the bar. So that's you're behind the. So I don't know what you call them. I think espresso machine is the right word because it does make espresso. But then I've heard it been called like the cappuccino machine or latte. I think I'm gonna say espresso machine. But so they're kind of fancy espresso machines because you don't have to grind the bean. That part is automated. So there's just like a big hopper on the top full of coffee beans. And then so you just press how many shots of espresso you want and it will do it for you. So that's different from kind of your run-of-the-mill espresso machine because in that case usually you have like a little kind of ice cream scoop thing and then you click that in and then the beans get grinded into that. Then you have a little tamper and then you tamp that down, level it all out, and then you crank that, twist it into like this other part of the machine and water goes through it and then that water goes through the coffee, makes your espresso. So I don't know about regular espresso machines, but for the Starbucks one, you want it to be in between the pour to make one espresso shot between 18 and 23 seconds, I think, because that's like your quality assurance. That makes sure it's like all Starbucks brewed stuff. It's like it's the same quality. But yeah, so if it's less than that, it means it's pulling too quickly. So what by pulling it means that like the water's able to like pour out too fast, and your coffee is going to be too weak. So you want to increase your grind size. So that means like the particles of coffee, they go from like being big, like if you think of it like sand, it's kind of more like gravel. If it's too coarse, like gravel, and then water can go through it pretty quickly. Whereas when it's really fine, it's more like really fine sand, and then the water takes longer to go through it. So if it's pouring too quickly, it's too coarse, and the water is going through too quick, and your espresso is too weak. And so you're going to have to increase you want to make your coffees finer, so you want to grind them finer. And if it's too fine, it's pouring too slowly, it's going to be too strong. So you want to just do the opposite. So you want to make them a little more coarse, so you don't grind it as fine. And yeah, so you press that button, boom, espresso. If it pours in between those two, that range of 18 to 23 seconds, then it's good to go. But then as well as you have your steamer, so that steams your milk. So whatever your milk you're doing, you're gonna steam your milk, and you pour your shots while you're steaming the milk. So it's like you get your order, and boom, blonde cappuccino. So grande blonde cappuccino. Throw that sticker on, put it on the cup. Oh yeah, so like in the one that I'm at, they don't, because they used to do like writing it with Sharpie on the cup, but now they just have a sticker that pops out of this little printer labeling machine, and then it will say what it needs. So you put it on the cup, and then you look like what milk it needs. So if it's just regular milk, just get because we're in Ontario, it's bags of milk, not jugs of milk. So pour that bag of milk in. And then the pitchers, the milk, like little milk, or like metal containers, little metal pitchers. So you pour from the milk pitcher into the metal milk container, and then there's different standardized lines. So there's like the short, which is the smallest cup, tall, grande, venti. So there's lines that tell you like where to pour the milk to. So you pour the milk into it, and then you start steaming your milk. And so when you're steaming your milk, you just put the wand into the bottom, and then as it's steaming, you kind of lower the pitcher down until there's kind of like a perfect level, I guess. I don't know. That it's like the steam, and it's just like kind of like right at the surface, or the end of the steam wand is close to the surface of the milk. So you get like this kind of this paper tearing sound, and that means that's when your milk is frothing. And that sound means that the milk is frothing. So because we have a blonde espresso, we want it to froth a little bit more. So we do it for about 8 to 10 seconds. If it was a latte, you do froth it a little bit less, so maybe like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe even more, like 3 to 4 seconds. And then you just push. Then you like bring the pitcher up, and then just push the steam wand back, and then it's not on a timer. The steam wand has a heat sense, has a heat sensor in it, so that it just. I actually don't know what the temperature of like a regular drink is, because you can do regular and extra hot. I don't know what the regular temperature is. I'm sure I could look it up, but I'm not going to. Probably. I don't know. I'll ask next time I go and work. Actually, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is. I don't know, some temperature, and then it will be like if you do in regular temperature, it will sense when it's the regular temperature that it needs, and it will stop. If you do extra hot, or like they don't call it extra cold, it's like I think they call it like child or warm. I don't know. There's like one down from normal. then it will make it a little less. It will make it less hot, just warm instead of hot. Then yeah, so while you're doing that, you like press how many espresso shots you need. So if it's you said it was a grande, it's 2 espresso shots. So you 2 espresso shots in the machine. Put your cup under, it pours the espresso shots. Then you take your milk out, put your pitcher down, and then there's like a little sanitizer cloth because like there's a lot of people that come through the Starbucks, so it's gotta be kind of pretty efficient. So then you pull the sanitizer cloth off, and then you wipe the milk off the steam wand. Then when you do that, you put the steamer out, so it's just blowing steam into air for 3 seconds to like kind of sanitize like the inside of the wand as well. And you put it down, and then you leave the wand out so that next time your next drink, when you like pour the milk, you can just go for it. But in this case, we're just doing 1 drink, so you just leave it out, put it back, put the cloth back in the sanitizer. It's like just a small tray with water in it. And you push that back in. Well, you don't have to. Yeah. Push it back in, and then take your milk pitcher, bring your cup down, and you swirl the milk. So it's what do they call it? Grooming. So you're grooming the milk, and then you pour the milk in, and it's a cappuccino, so there's a lot of foam, and so you want just a little bit of milk, but you want more foam than milk. So you can take a spoon, and then because the milk pours faster than the foam does, and so you can pour the milk. But then you can take a spoon in there, and then you can throw the milk into the spoon. No, that's not right. The foam into the cup. You got your cup. And you say grande blonde cappuccino for Deborah. And so thanks, Deborah. Have a great day. And then she leaves. And then you've just made a Starbucks coffee. Oh, and then you take your pitcher. And then if there's another drink, even if there's not another drink, there's like this, kind of like this jet stream thing. Well, it's water. And so like when you push the pitcher on it, like sprays water inside the pitcher, and you give that a rinse. Give the pitcher a rinse. And then you have another pitcher, use that while that one's rinsing, or if you don't have another pitcher, you rinse that one, and then boom, next drink. And then, you just keep doing that. So that's the second role. So we have cashier and what did we say? Oh, and the person behind the bar. And then they call it CSR. I think it stands for something support. Something. I want to say like customer support responsibility, but I don't think that's right. I don't know. CSR or something. I don't know. Basically, you're the support person for the bar and the cashier. So it's like their goal is to be looking at the customers and interacting with customers at all times. And as the CSR, you're like running around in the back, like, doing stuff so that they don't have to ask for anything. It's just going to be there. So you have like this timer and set to 10 minutes. So you brew a new batch of coffee every 10 minutes. So while you're waiting for it to brew, you'll go around the store, and there's like a set amount of tasks that you try and accomplish. Like you try and accomplish one per 10-minute cycle. So you'll go around, and if there's anything that needs to be stocked in any of the fridges, so like pour milk or more pumps or anything like that, if that's running low, you'll restock that. You'll stock the food. You'll go around to the front and like, because there's usually like water bottles and like different prepackaged meals that are there, and there's like some retail stuff as well. So you'll stock that if it's running low. You'll go and wipe down tables, clean the bathrooms, what else? You clean the front door area because that gets dirty. A lot of people walk in, muddy boots. Dust the lights, and then you'll clean the countertops. So you try and get all that done, and then after 10 minutes comes by, you brew a new batch of coffee. So there'll usually be one that's empty. So you take that one. If it's not empty, there might be a little bit of residual. You pour that out, and then there's like a system in place. So if you're brewing blonde espresso, I don't have this one memorized yet, but it's like they have like a little these little signs on it. So it's like if blonde is brewing, or so if how do I explain this? It's a tough one to explain. So if there's a little sign, just like hanging on the kind of near the nozzle that dispenses the coffee, and it will say either blonde, pike, or dark roast. And so if it says pike on it, you'll take it off, put it on. There's three columns of 2 hooks. So I don't know if, let's see, is this even recording? Oh yeah, it's still recording. Cool. So there's like that's a good way of, like, 2 hooks here, 2 hooks here, 2 hooks here. And so you put the blonde, or you put the pike here, and then there'll be another like dog tag chain label thingy on this hook, and it will say dark or blonde or something like that. So you take that one off and you put it on or actually no, that's not what it is. So let's say it says pike, right? So you look and it will say, and then so there's those 2 hooks, 2 hooks, 2 hooks. So so there's the one that says and then there's labels for each hook. So let's say on the bottom hook it will say, on this side it will say blonde, the middle one it will say pike, and on the this one it will say dark. So you find, so we picked it up, and now this one says pike on it. So we look and we find the one that says pike. So we put that on, and it says, this one was a pike, and so the label on top says we're going to be brewing blonde next. So that's how we know to brew blonde. And so, after like the next cycle, we have blonde, so we put on the blonde one, and it says, next up, you have to brew bold or dark roast. So next cycle, dark roast is here. You put the dark roast one on, and it says brew pike. So that repeats, and it keeps repeating. I don't know if that made any sense or not at all, but anyways, it works out so that you're brewing a new batch of coffee of like pike. You'd be doing it every 30 minutes. So yeah, and then it goes by really quickly. I find that the shifts go by really quickly on CSR because you're always doing something. You're always doing some sort of cyclical maintenance task. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I think that one's a harder position. I think the bar is the hardest, but it's also the one I've done the least amount because it's difficult to get in there, especially when it's really busy. Because if you're slow on bar, then that's the number one thing that backs up people. So they try and put the more experienced baristas there. But I've been able to do it a few times, and it's fun, but it's also hard to. There's different tricks that you use to memorize, like what goes in, like how many pumps or how many espresso shots go into each drink, and so I don't have it all down, so I have to sometimes ask someone, be like, I forget how many pumps go into this, and they'll be like, oh, this. How many shots go into this and this? Yeah. So, and that's just the hot stuff, and then there's like on the bar, you turn around, and then you have to make like there's blenders and stuff and other pumps to make the cold drinks. So like your iced coffees, your frappuccinos. Yeah, and I've done a few of those just as like training things, but not super confident in my ability to do that quite yet. But that's okay. I'm still there. Yeah, so that's basically it. And then yeah, so just one of those. Then if there's more people on the floor, you might have 2 people on the cash or 2 people on the bar. But that's typically it. That's typically 3, maybe 4 people. Sometimes there's 5, but that's quite a lot. Yeah, and then my manager is super awesome. She's super friendly, she knows the store inwards and outwards. So any question, she's quick answer. But then as well, all the other people that I'm working with as well too are quite on top of their barista game. So they're quick to fill me in on what I need to be doing as well. So yeah, it's a very fun job. You get to talk with a lot of people. Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like even if you're like kind of like you screw up one order, you're like drats, and you don't really have time to beat yourself up because you're like on to the next one, So it's like it keeps you in the moment. It's a good job to keep you present. So yeah, it's been I've enjoyed that so far. Next shift is Saturday, I believe. So hopefully my brain's feeling better by then. What else is going on? I work at Urban Outfitters as well. That was good. I've never worked a retail job before. Oh shoot. Okay, 1 second. I just forgot to do some. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I had to do some stuff. I had to take Tylenol. Antidepressants. Yeah, so now I'm good. I'm happy. What were we talking about? Starbucks. Oh, Urban Outfitters. So yeah, I never worked at done retail before. That's pretty good. Yeah, it was similar to Starbucks in the sense that you got to talk to a lot of people. But then as well, if you're not so talkative, 1 in the morning or 2, you can just fold clothes. Kind of more of that like CSR kind of thing, where it's like you're kind of going around and doing maintenance of the store. Yeah, like constantly like hanging up new clothes, like refolding stuff, taking inventory, or not taking inventory, like moving stuff from the back to the front of the store, vice versa. Yeah, it's a cool building. People that I work with, I enjoyed working with all of them. Manager, also cool guy. Not as go as at Starbucks, but still quite enjoyable. Yeah, still kind of keeps you present. Um, yeah, yeah. So that was good. I haven't since the school year started. I haven't taken many shifts. There's many shifts there. Well, yeah, I've taken no shifts there actually because I've only been booked for Sunday. And for Sundays, and I actually, yeah, last Sunday was my first one booked in the school year, and I got my concussion, so that was no fun. Got my concussion on Thursday. Yeah. So I was like, nope, can't work. And then I'm not booked for this Sunday, but the Sunday afterwards. So we'll see how I'm feeling then. Then, so that's good. So I don't know, that it was good. It like taught me a lot about like what you need to do to maintain a store, what you need to. It was kind of cool because like I think a lot of the stuff I learned on the job there, it's like I've like brought into my own life as well. So it's like I've just noticed like I've been keeping my room. It might sound funny. I've been keeping my room tidier. I've been keeping the houses I've been living in a lot tidier. Been more focused on just keeping regular maintenance rather than just waiting for stuff to get into disarray and then it should to be just like a big pile up. I don't know. Life's more enjoyable. I've been finding where we've just been like kind of rather than like when stuff kind of like set everything up and then slowly decays, just like constant maintenance of stuff, and then yeah, I don't know, and everything is like pretty nice all the time, and you don't have like this kind of like looming like, oh fuck, I gotta clean that up, kind of growing in the back of your head. So yeah, so that's been good. Yeah, talked to a lot of people. I probably have talked to more than, I don't know, I want to say 1,000 people since October. I've talked to a lot of people. I'm just thinking like, so yeah, I don't know, like my childhood was quite sheltered in a lot of ways. I didn't really grow up in the middle of a city or anything like that. And usually like, if I wasn't at school or doing like, I was in a small school to begin with, but if I wasn't at school or playing sports or something, I was just basically hanging out at home, not doing much, usually just hanging out with my brother or something. So like now, like just being exposed to interacting with a bunch of like a ton of people, so like both at Urban Outfitters, Starbucks, but as well I did like this brand ambassador job. It's like kind of, it was for this gas station. They were opening up a gas station, or it was like for on the run gas stations, and the one thing that I went to was pretty awesome. It was like $20 an hour, and then you're just there for 8 hours, and you just have to basically wear this like vest. You're basically just directing traffic, and then that's what they did is at the gas station, it was a brand new gas station, and they dropped the price of gas by 30 cents. So there's like this big lineup of cars, and then you just basically directing traffic and just being like, yeah, this is awesome. And I got to pass out free candy and peanuts and stuff. So, so I was doing that. So I talked to a lot of people doing that as well. I did that twice. Just like a lot of people. Yeah, so I've never really done that, like where it's kind of a high volume job like that before. But it's cool. It's fun. It's been cool. There's a lot of cool people out there in the world. Yeah, if I were to give myself, and I think I've become quite a like a byproduct of that, I've become a much better conversationalist. Um, yeah, and it's not like I don't know. I feel like that might be a route some people might go is like they'll just kind of what do they call it like schema is the wrong word, but like some sort of like speech pattern to yeah it's made me think a lot about how like how important communication is and um, like what a cool asset being able to communicate well is because not everyone has it and it's like it's it can make your life way easier. It makes it like getting to know someone way not getting to know someone way easier, but it like it can help you highlight the parts of someone that you find interesting a lot quicker. I find because I find that typically, um, yeah, like talking to some people, like you could be like, yeah, the socks are over there, but I think I don't know what's been cool for me is just building up the ability to ask kind of like deeper questions. So like if they're someone, it's like been cool. Like if someone's asking about socks, like I can get into like a kind of like a deep conversation about I don't know their philosophy in life or like what their fears are, what their hopes are, what's exciting. And I find that those conversations really are cool. They're cool conversations. They make life more exciting. I don't know. They give me like a lot of energy. So I always try and leave conversations um, feeling better or the same as when I entered them. I always hate when you leave a conversation. You're like, oh, I had something else that I wanted to say. I didn't get that off my chest. Um, yeah, no, I think it's very important just to be like, oh, but you also don't want to, yeah, I don't know, and that's where it's tricky because like if like let's say you're upset with something, it's very easy to go into a conversation upset with something and make that other person upset. So I think it's important to be like, when you're upset with something, I think that's when the power of communication comes in because you can explain to that person, I'm upset because of this. I'm not necessarily upset with you as a person. Maybe I'm upset with one of your actions. It's not like I don't know. I find that that's less combative, and you can find whatever the issue is. You can find like a solution much easier that way. But yeah, I don't know. That's just a random tangent that I've been going on. I've been. I noticed I haven't been drinking enough water. That's why I have my water bottle here now. Yeah, my pee's been quite yellow. Past, especially in the mornings. I think my room in here is quite dry. It's kind of cool. It's like a my own little hot yoga studio. It's kind of like the old think about like 70s gym flooring. That's kind of like the floor that I have in this room. And I have this brick chimney. Coming up there, it's a very old house. But yeah, and then there's like an old radiator in here. So, and I have the space heater as well too. Like, I typically like my room a little bit over room temperature. I'm just a fan of being more warm than cold. And yeah, but it's like it's cool with that space heater. Like this room can get pretty hot. It's kind of like but with the wood, I think it really dries out the room. So I don't know. I may be totally wrong at why it's dry. I think it's the wood, but yeah, it's cool. So there's this yoga mat here. Man, the tenants who lived in this house before left a lot of stuff, so it's pretty awesome. So kitchen fully stocked, as in not with food, but like with cooking utensils, like pots, pans, glassware, plates and stuff. So didn't have to buy anything. I left a yoga mat. That's what I was just about to say. Left a crock pot as well too. So I made chili the other day. I tried to do a vegan chili. Not vegan or anything. Just wanted to give it a shot. Didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to. But that meant it was more soupy than chili-y. So yeah. But I think that might have been because I read the recipe, and I think I'm typically bad with following food recipes because I kind of look at it, do like a quick read through, and then I'm like, I kind of get it, and then I just wing it from there. That was part of my New Year's resolution this year, was to be a little more diligent with myself in actually following recipes. That way I can get more of a, instead of like each time I cook something, I kind of get there's a lot of randomness at the end of the process where it's just kind of like, oh, this is cool, this tastes good, or this tastes bad, but it's like, it's not very reproducible. So I just like to work on the reproducibility of the things that I cook. So that way I can kind of like start building up a catalog of different recipes and things that I could bring to the table, literally. So yeah, but like if I was going somewhere and they're like, oh, Ray, make that thing that you made, I'd be like, oh yeah, I totally know what you're talking about, rather than like, yeah, I don't really know how to reproduce that. So anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the yoga mat. So I got a yoga mat, and I was doing hot yoga in here the other day, which was good. But that was on, I think that was on Sunday or Monday, I can't remember. But that hurt my head, so I'm not doing yoga anymore. Yeah, that's the thing about it's been difficult finding things not to do. Yeah, because it's just like, oh yeah, let's just do stuff all the time. And so like the first thing I did was like, so no phone. I've been trying to reduce using my phone. It's weird, like that's also a powerful, I don't know if addiction's the right word, but that's a powerful urge to resist, is like the urge to like look at your phone. I know I just said that the other day, because I've been trying hard not to look at it, and I kind of keep it on my table, or well, right now it's in my pocket, but yeah, that urge to like pick it up and like look if you got like a text or something, or but yeah, so and like sometimes I just find myself like looking at like Snapchat stories, and I'm just like, wait, why am I doing this? I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like try and keep it away from me when that starts to happen. Oh yeah. Anyways, concussion stuff. So yeah, it's quite boring. Well, not boring. It's like it's hard to not do anything, because I always find like wanting to stretch, or wanting to, I don't know, read or something like that, and it's like you got to be quite diligent about stopping it before you get into it, because it's like for me at least right now, the headaches aren't coming right away. There's a bit of a delay effect, so it's like I read, then if I read too long, then the headache comes, and then the headache doesn't go away right away. It's like kind of lingers, and it's like, fuck, why did I read? It sucks. My head hurts. So yeah. Oh, I think I just missed my face. Oh, that's another thing. So the guy who actually lived in this room before me, he left. It's not a Brita filter. It's like just like some gravity filter thing. So I got some good tasting water here, and I've just been leaving it in the fridge downstairs, and cools it right down. So some high quality H2O going into my body right now. Um, yeah. What? Yeah. What else? Oh, I can feel my nose building up its knot. So, all right, I'm gonna pause there for a second, and I'll be right back. Yeah. So enjoy. Here to entertain you. You guys can look at the nozzle of my water bottle. I'll be back. All right, so I blew my nose, but I also peed. So yeah, everything's working like it should. It's good news. Um, how long have we been talking for? Oh, about an hour. Oh, nice. Uh, yeah, so there's the yoga thing, hot yoga in the room, gave me a headache. Uh, yeah. So yeah, trying to drink more water. What else? Yeah, in the past I've tried doing different like food stuff as well to keep me healthier, but I don't know, I have pretty good metabolism and I eat pretty relatively healthy already, so I think the big thing for me is I just try to focus on meal consistency. I like to skip breakfast like crazy. So just make sure I have breakfast. And yeah, just try to cut down on my coffee intake as well, because that's a slippery slope to go down as well. think in my prime coffee intake days, I probably had close to 15 cups, sometimes 20 cups of coffee a day, which is, doctors tell me not healthy. So I've been trying to not do that. So try and do one, maybe two a day. Sometimes I have more, but that's okay. As long as on average, doing two more a day. I don't know. I don't know. I think Ina told me about this, but it's the 80-20 rule. So it's 80% of the time you're doing good stuff for your body, and 20% of the time you do bad stuff. So I like that rule. That way you can, it's not so rigid as the, oh, I gotta be healthy all the time. Just possibly perfect every day. So give yourself a little bit of leeway, and then when you screw up, you're like, yeah, it's just part of my 20%. You just keep going at it. So that's been working for me so far. I've been pretty good this week so far. About consistent meals. Yesterday, 3 meals. Today, had breakfast. It's only 11 o'clock now, so probably have lunch in about an hour or so. What am I going to have for lunch? I think I have some carrots. So I think I'm going to do carrots, hummus. I have a zucchini. Maybe I'll do some roasted zucchini. Just been frying them up so far. Yeah, I think I'm going to do roasted zucchini and what else do I got? I'm just trying to think what's in my fridge right now. Ooh, a lot of the chili that I made, I put it in the freezer, so I just thawed out one of those last night. So I guess I'll have some chili along with that as well. Yeah, that'll probably be good. And then what am I doing later today after lunch? I think I'm gonna come back up here and maybe try and meditate. Yeah, do some of that. Yeah, so a pretty riveting day ahead of me. What else am I up to? Well, this week nothing. Yeah, I'm kind of anxious about falling behind in school, but I messaged both my profs, and well, at least one of them responded to me, and he's like, "All right, read these lecture notes when you feel better." And I have an assignment due at the end of next week, so I said, "See where you're at the beginning of next week." And so, see where I am. If I'm able to do it, I'll do it. He said he'd extend it for me, which I was pretty happy about. And then the other prof I didn't hear back from. And then taking this econ class as well. But yeah, that one's, I don't know. It's okay, I guess. Prof talks a lot about how much he thinks Trump sucks. So it's kind of hard to decipher what is course material and what is him just kind of venting about politics. And honestly, like I was telling my other friends, like kind of just feels like I'm sitting at the dinner table with my parents and grandparents, just kind of what do they call that? There's a word for it where you're kind of just talking to talk, not interjecting. I don't know. There's some word. Pondering? No, not pondering. Posturing? maybe posturing. I don't know, just talking about complaining, I think is a good word for it. Yeah, about just random stuff that guy does. So yeah, so it's difficult to know what the actual course material it is. But I had a friend who's in that same class as me pass on the class notes to me. So that's only once a week. So yeah. I went to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class last week. No, not last week. The first week. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was last week. It was good. I fought this guy who was quite well trained in judo, and he was just kind of showing me the ropes. It was pretty fun. Yeah, kind of like wrestling. I did some wrestling in grade 6, I think. Yeah, when I was younger. Yeah, he just showed me some moves, how to trip people, how to choke people, what's like good position versus bad position. Yeah, so I'd like to go back, but not this week. Let my head rest a little bit. Yeah, and he showed me like some like flipping moves, so I got flipped on my back a few times. It didn't hurt that much. It's just it's on mats, like a thick mat. So it didn't really. Well, it's like a wrestling. It's like a wrestling floor mat. So like when you fall, it doesn't hurt that much. But yeah, it was cool. What else? I've been going like before this week. I was going to the gym every day. I think that's been really really helpful for my mental health, at least. Just you get like I think it's like kind of like you get the release of tension from the day. So if you're like you have any stress or anything like that, I find that that's a really good way of relieving that, especially like if I have kind of like a down day. I'm just like kind of feeling overly anxious or overly sad. That's kind of that kind of just takes supreme. Whatever I had planned for that day, I say slide it off the table. Say just go to the gym, and then it kind of when that to-do list is kind of out there, it's like makes it a little bit easier. It can kind of feel daunting when you're not in the right headspace. But yeah, I find going to the gym, like, if you just like put that all away, if you're still feeling like shit, then you're like, you know what, that's okay, and just try and grind it out. Then I find that more often than not, it get into a headspace where I'm like, oh yeah, this is a lot more accomplishable than I thought earlier today. So that's been good. I think no, I can't watch this now. That's one of the things that I've kind of wanted. Part of my New Year's resolution as well is to work on my public speaking. So I guess this is probably good for that. Just kind of conjecturing. I think that was the word. Maybe. I don't know. What I was talking about earlier with the whole thingamajiggy about complaining. Shit. What was I talking about before? Oh yeah, public speaking. So yeah. But I've just been noticing while I've been talking here, I do make a lot of breaks in my speech pattern with a So I'm curious to look back at this video and see how many uhs I have. There's this game I used to play with my brother and with my dad. He was the first guy to call it out, where I would use like to I was about to use like to describe like. I would. Oh, there's another. So he pointed out me using the word like in my day-to-day conversation quite a lot, and so it made me think about it more. And there's this game you would play when you're talking with someone, to count how many times you say like. So it just makes you more conscious about how you're speaking, and I don't know. Yeah, it makes you, at least I think, sound more. I don't know. I don't know if it's more put together, more literal. No, I don't know. Cause like, yeah, I don't know. More fluid. Yeah, it makes your speech pattern sound more fluid. Just better, I think. I don't know. So that's what I've been. I'm curious to see how many likes and ums and uhs I have in this video. So I think when my head feels better, I'll go back and I'll watch it. But, yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking of different ways of improving my public speaking. Right now, yeah, I don't really know if I were to give a speech what I would give it about. So, or where to give a speech. I was thinking about Toastmasters. But I know you show up and just give a speech, but I don't know what you talk about or how you. I don't really know where to begin for a speech. Just if you were to give me a topic, say, talk about candles for 15 minutes, I think I might struggle with that. But some people, they'll give you a Nobel Prize winning speech right off the bat. They got it down. They know how to give a good speech. Oration, that's what you call that. Someone who's able to speak well in whatever they're talking about. You're just at the end of it, you're like, damn, that was well said. So I like to be able to do that. I've heard a few people talk who I say that to myself after. I say, you know what, I'd like to be able to talk like that. So I think that's that and the cooking thing are New Year's resolutions. And yeah, I think, yeah, even right now, this is a good way of viewing how I talk. I think it's going to be weird to look back at this and just watch myself or hear myself. Watching yourself is weird, but I think hearing yourself is also weird. It's always weird hearing yourself after it's been recorded, because I find that to myself, I sound way different than what I sound like on a recording device. But I just paused there because I used the word like, but I wasn't sure if that was the appropriate use of it or just an added use of it. Anyways. So yeah, public speaking. The other thing I've been thinking about is just going on the corner and maybe just reading from the Bible. Those guys seem to get pretty good at public speaking, even if not a lot of people want to hear what they're saying. But it'd be a good practice for sure. I don't think I'm going to do that. What else? Yeah, I don't know. This is a cool format, podcasting. I've been listening to a lot of the Joe Rogan podcast, so that kind of inspired me to do this as well too. It's cool with all the people that he interviews. Like they're just like such a wide cast of characters from all these different walks of life. I find that cool. And then he can hold his own in a conversation as well too. So it's no matter kind of what their specialty is, he's able to kind of ask a meaningful question to kind of make the other person think and play on their expertise. So I find that's cool as well. I think that's like goes back to that communication skill kind of piece that I was talking about a little bit earlier. If you're I think the more you practice talking with people, the better you get at finding out interesting information about them quicker. So if you're bad at communication, you'll be like, hey, and then kind of it breaks down after that. Whereas I find if you've had a lot of conversation, it becomes easier to be like, oh, like, what interests you, or what inspires you? If the other person's up for it, they'll be like, oh yeah, let's get deep, let's get metaphysical on this, and then that can get really exciting, really thought-provoking as well too, because it's cool to find someone who's had this like a thought, like maybe you thought that thought was really weird or really unique or really crazy. And then you get talking to someone and they've had a really similar thought, or even if you've had like this crazy weird experience, that person might have had a similar experience. And then you can both be, hey, wasn't that thought or experience or whatever it is you're kind of connecting on, isn't that crazy? And then that person's like, yeah, it was crazy. And you can talk about it and you can gain more insight into what you think it actually was, what your mind was doing in that moment. And how maybe you reacted differently than they reacted. And I find that those conversations are always cool because you always learn something new. And whether it's about the person you're talking with or even about yourself, I think those are most insightful because you learn something more about yourself that you wouldn't have been able to discover by yourself. So I think that's I don't know, that's a cool part about talking with people. People are cool. People are really cool. What else is cool? I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny to say, but my mind blanked. What else is cool? I like origami is pretty cool. I am absolutely terrible at origami. I always try to make those little cranes, and it does not go well. But I am very envious of someone who can make good origami. It's cool. What's that movie with the origami? Isn't that Blade Runner? Where they have like a little origami thing. All the scenes. Places them down. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie. He just makes those little swans, and there's a guy, and he puts them down, and then I think, I don't know, and then it has to do with something like he's a robot, or spoiler alert, he's a robot, or something like that. I don't know, but I remember, I'm like, damn, I wish I could make one of those. That's what I remember while watching that movie. God, that guy can make some good origami. So maybe that'll be I don't want to make that my New Year's resolution, because I find that if you have too many New Year's resolutions, it's hard to maintain. One or two max. But that's doable, but if it gets more than that, it's like, I feel like you have to cut corners at some of them, and it just doesn't work as well. Maybe I'll try more origami. I don't know, is that that's probably not concussion improved. It'll probably make my head hurt. I'll probably try some here, but I have to look up how to do it. And I want to watch a YouTube video. That would hurt my head. I don't know if just like folding paper. I wonder who the first guy who invented origami, how he found that out. Oh, if you fold it like this, this, and this, you're going to make a duck. And then the real cool thing is the guy who was first able to, well, okay, so I bet there was the guy who like folded it up and made a duck kind of. He's like, oh, duck. But do you think that guy who first made it was able to reproduce it, or it took a different guy to be like, oh yeah, that's a cool duck. How did you do that? And the guy who made it is like, I don't know. It's just a duck. Look at it. But the guy who saw it was like, oh, how do I reproduce that? How do I make an instruction manual of how to make that? I find that those are two different things. People who do things sometimes aren't always, right, it's like my recipe thing, not always able to reproduce it. Just know how to do it. That's their thing. They know how to do it. But they don't necessarily know how to teach it, or how to kind of like break down the step-by-step of like how to do this. So, yeah, I find that those are two different skill sets altogether. Some people are really good at training something. They might not be able to do it well, whereas other people might be able to really do something well, but they're not so great at training it. And sometimes it's both. I find that I learn something best by teaching it to someone else. It's the best way I learn. So yeah, that's kind of like how it gets stuck in my mind. So yeah, and memorizing stuff too, I always like just to talk to someone about it. Like talking it out. Not necessarily like talking just to like this, like talking to myself, but like I try to bring up like pieces of information that I need to memorize in conversation. So, like while I'm like at dinner or getting coffee with a friend, and be like, oh hey, here's like this weird thing that I learned the other day. And then I've taught them, and I also just reaffirmed it in my memory. So then next time I have to be like on a test or something, it's just like, when did Shakespeare die? 1666. I'm pretty sure that's right. Someone can fact check me if they'd like. It's either 1666 or 1616. William Shakespeare died. Shoot. I guess I'm going to have to recheck that one. I didn't memorize it well enough. So yeah. Trivial Pursuit is a good game. Yeah, I like any kind of trivia game. I like going and playing like trivia nights anywhere. Those are good ones. I find I'm okay at trivia. As in like a little bit better. But I would say I would call myself a bit better than average. But I wonder if that's like driving, because there's like some study somewhere that someone told me about. Don't actually know if it's real or not. That most drivers will say that they're slightly average, better than average at driving, whereas they'll say that most other drivers are bad at driving. So, yeah, there's like it's kind of like I forget what they call that in psychology. It's kind of like confirmation bias is not the right thing, but it's kind of like you can't see your own bias to yourself. So it's like, yeah, everyone else sucks, but I don't suck. But maybe you're the worst and everyone else is okay. But what was I going with that? Oh, shoot. Something about driving. No, I was using driving as the example. Some water. Shoot. Sorry, guys. I totally forget what I was talking about. It's something about bias in your decisions, or something like that. Anyways, yeah. Psychology and science and whatnot. So yeah. I'm a fan of the drapes in my room. They're quite good at blocking out the sun. Today is not super sunny outside. It's quite cloudy. It's actually quite snowing right now. Actually, so squint my eyes. Ouch. That hurt my brain. Yeah, it was quite snowy. It's snowing right now. But it was quite sunny yesterday. And it is Yeah, the drapes were really good at keeping the sun out. There was a little bit of shine on the outskirts, but for the most part, my room was quite dark. It was quite enjoyable. And then as well, I got these earbuds. They're made out of wax. So you just like roll them in a little ball and you stick them in your ear. And yeah, they block out a lot of noise too. So I was able to. It was dark and quiet, which is good for concussions, I hear. So yeah, so that was good. Yeah, so it's quite dark here, and then my housemates aren't super loud as well. And they're usually out of the house for most of the day, so it's quite quiet in the house. And then I think so. It's a townhouse, so like this is our house, and then there's a house like right here. My house, my room is on the like has a wall in between. I think there was some guy playing. I don't know if he was playing Fortnite or Call of Duty or something, but he was getting pretty pissed at some guy over the internet about killing him around not yesterday, the day before, around maybe like 3 o'clock. Yeah, he was probably playing for about 2 hours. Yeah, but yeah. So my neighbor is a gamer of some kind, and he was gaming. He was dying. So neighbor, if you see this, feel your pain. Keep fighting a good fight, as they say. Yeah. Just looking at, I have a Christmas card here from my friend. I'm a fan of Christmas cards. Christmas cards are sweet. Just cards in general. I like just like little wrote down note. That's the thing about gifts is I'm not great at them. It's something I would like to. But it's also something I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd like to be better at it. Enjoy giving gifts, but as well as like, I don't know. Like, then like for a long time, I don't know if this might be like a distorted view. For a long time, I'm just like, if you really enjoy someone's company, should you give them like a gift, or it's like shouldn't just like the bond that you have with someone like isn't that enough? But I guess that's kind of flawed. I think that's kind of a flawed mindset because like, oh, you enjoy this person, so you should give them maybe something to show your appreciation. I don't know. Yeah, have a conversation with me about it sometime. What's your opinion on gifts, gift giving? Yeah, don't have a fully thought out philosophy on it yet. All I know is I'm not 100% good at doing it because I always forget birthdays, even at Christmas time. Forget like, oh yeah, it's Christmas. I get caught up in whatever I'm doing at the moment, and then I forget. Same with texts. Bad at texting as well. Someone will text me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I should text this person back. And then I'll put my phone down, and then I'll start chatting with someone, and then it's 5 days later, my cousin texted me. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, hey, what's up? Want to go to a movie? And then 5 days later, I'll be like, yeah, which movie? And I'll be like, come on, Raiden. That was 5 days ago. Like, I know. So, I guess if I wanted to be better at it, I could put in the time and effort. But I don't know. I'm liking. I like being present, focused on what's going around me. I don't know. Yeah, I just gotta work in that happy medium between being responsive and being present with what's going on in front of me. I don't know. So there's some room for improvement, but I'm not going to beat myself too much up about it. Okay. Oh yeah, but Christmas cards, cool. I like any, because that's the thing about cards as well. Is like, it doesn't take a ton of time to do, but you can like, it's quite personal. You can be like, hey, like, this is what you mean to me. I don't say this. You don't like, especially for people that you love in your life. It's like you don't say it often, or maybe I think I've tried to say it more often than I recently have. But I think that's the thing about the people in your life. You don't tell them like how much they mean to you enough. So like a card, I think, is a good way of just being like, this is what you mean to me, and thank you for being you. So I really like that. Both receiving and giving those. So yeah, I find it even just giving a Christmas card, that makes me feel really good. Yeah, so maybe I should just try that with gifts. Get better at gift giving. Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, I thought about there was like this piece of land for sale up just a bit north of Kingston. It's like 2 acres or something like that, and it has like a bunch of sumac trees on it. So I just wanted to go and check it out. It's kind of isn't like crazy expensive, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if I really should do it. I mean, I don't know. I could buy it, but then at the same time, I'd be like, should I really buy that? I don't know. I thought it'd just be cool. Have like a small little farm thing. And it had like a bunch of sumac trees on it. Apparently, like sumac, you can make tea out of it. So I was like, oh, like the taxes on it weren't that like crazy expensive. It was like $1,000 per year in taxes, maybe just a little bit less. So like if I was just have to make at least $1,000 in a year from these tea leaves, and then it'd just be maintaining property. So, but I don't know. I got kind of focused on school and other stuff. So I don't know. That's cool. What do people think about farming, just in general? Or like urban farming, or particularly. I don't even know. I like my thought was like I'd like sell it at like a farmer's market maybe, or maybe like I don't know. But then I was like, oh, but then I'd have to go and I'd have to set up a shop at the farmer's market. I was like, could I just like sell it to someone who's already sells stuff or already sells tea at a farmer's market? So yeah, so if you know about that, let me know. Because yeah, I think I'm still able to do it. I don't think it's been sold yet. I may be wrong, and may have missed the opportunity. But either way, if you know about tea, the tea business, let me know. Because yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Sell some sumac tea. Coming to you soon, maybe. Or maybe not. It is a thing. Yeah, I was just... It's an aerial view. What it looks like. Kind of cool. What else? I think maybe... Oh no, I'd get a. I think I like the idea of having like a guest, like just doing, or not even a guest, but like just doing this with someone else. but I don't think I'm going to do that this week just because I think that might be too much stimulus. This is just me kind of like just talking my nonsense out in my head. Which is, I don't know. Would I call this therapeutic? Probably. Yeah, Tylenol. I don't know. Don't worry. Nothing crazy. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking of what else to kind of BS about and stuff. Yeah. There's probably lots. But wanting to, I've been saying this for a while now, but I kind of want to build a computer, but I don't know. Oh, actually, no, this is a better thing to talk about. I'm wondering where to live after I'm done school. Like, do I want to go and live in Calgary? Because that's nice, like my family's there. But then I'm dating Nina, and she lives in Ottawa. So I think this summer, at least, because last summer she came and lived with me in Calgary. We both worked, and this summer I think we're gonna live in Ottawa with her parents and both work. And then I still have a year, maybe 2 years left of school. So I'm just trying to. Maybe it's like premature to think about that, but yeah, I've just been thinking of like where to settle down, or if I want to settle down like right away and like start a career, or if I want to go and travel, maybe like do some sort of expat thing. I don't know. I've met a few expats doing their thing in like different parts of the world, and that's a cool life to live. But at the same time, like it's kind of far away. You don't get to see your family a lot. I like my family. I like hanging out with them. I like seeing them occasionally. Well, more than occasionally. I like. Yeah, so I don't know. I like the ability to see my family quite frequently, but also be able to travel. I guess Calgary's a. But that's the thing about Calgary too, is like I don't know. Whenever I go back, I'm like, this is a really beautiful part of the world. I don't think you really realize that until you've left and then go back. It's like, it's like that song, "Paved Paradise," put up a parking lot. Great song, would recommend. But yeah, it's kind of like that, like one of those scenarios where it's like a really beautiful part of the world. But I don't know, like even like Kingston is, like, it's pretty nice as well. Or like even like kind of like outskirts of Toronto there. It's like it's super green, especially in the summertime, which is really nice. And you don't always get that with Calgary. It's like it's quite dry in Calgary. So even like the summertime, it's like as soon as the sun goes away, it gets kind of cold. Or if I've noticed in Ontario, it's more humid. I think it might be. I think it's the humidity that does this, but it's like there's kind of like a latent heat. So like when the sun goes down, it's still warm outside, whereas you don't really get that in Calgary. So I think that's why, because the humidity retains a lot of the heat. If you're a weather scientist, let me know if that's right or wrong. But yeah, so there's but that's the thing about Calgary as well too, is like there's a lot of outdoor stuff to do. So there's skiing, and there's hiking, biking, a lot of stuff in the mountains to do. Even in the city itself, like there's the river, there's lots of different parks that you can go to. So yeah, the thing I don't like about Calgary is quite not segregation is the wrong word, but it's very spread out. So depending on where you're going, typically takes quite a drive to get there. Whereas, like living in Kingston here, it's the university campus is really small. The downtown's very close to the campus, so you just have to walk somewhere. Whereas in Calgary, it's hard to not it's not hard to live, because I guess you could live without a car, but yeah, it's hard to get around without a car. Like if you had a friend living in a different part of the city, like let's say you had someone who lives in the south, that's really difficult to get, or it take a long time to get there with public transport. You'd want a car, move around. And I'm not a huge fan of driving. I don't really enjoy kind of like that long drive. I like being somewhere, and that's where I'm at. And then talking to the people in that area, not having like these long gaps in between, 20-minute gaps, especially if you're driving around a lot. That's a lot of the time in the car. It adds up. So I don't know. It's just things like that I've been thinking about. It's like where do I want to grow up? You know, if I have kids, where, you know, how do I set them up so that they're, you know, they're going to have a good life? Does it make sense for me to even worry about that? I guess so. I don't know. That's a long time in the future. What else have I been thinking about? Yeah, it's like, do I want to live in Canada? I like Canada. Canada's awesome. It's really cool. Really great country. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how taxes work. I'll be the first to admit that. I know that apparently the more you make, the more you get taxed. Shout out to my mom for having done that for me for most of my life. But yeah, good time to learn, I guess. But yeah, so I guess that's something to consider as well. Depending on how much money I make, does it make sense to live in one place over another? I know that in Panama right now, it is a income tax-free area, so maybe I'll go live in Panama, and then I won't get taxed. But if you're a Canadian citizen, I learned you have to report any foreign investment. So, like, let's say you move to Panama and you buy a house in Panama and you rent it out. Then any income that you make with that has to get reported, and it gets taxed as, I don't know if it's a capital gains tax or what kind of tax it is, but yeah, you get taxed on that as well. Yeah. So, I don't know. That'd be actually like an interesting podcast for someone to do. It's just like how to set yourself up so that you can travel around the world and keep your income. Because I was talking to my friend about this as well. It's like, I find that for the most part, and you know, I'm a layman when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like I said, shout out to Patty, who's, you know, she's done me a solid. That's my mom, by the way, for doing all this stuff. But the way I think it generally works, or I don't even know where to look up for this stuff, but it's like your tax-free savings account and your RSP. It's like, I find that it's like, if it benefits you, if it's like a government program and it benefits you, it's typically you have to go and search it out and find it. Whereas the other way, if it like benefits the government, it's like they're gonna let you know about it right away. I don't know. Anecdotally, that's what I find, but it's like, yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of like what I've been thinking about as well. So like, finish school, School's going good right now, besides this concussion thing. Keeping in my mental health as good as it can be. Just focus on enjoying day by day. But there's those other things too, where it's like, how do I don't know. And then as well too, it's like friendship and social group as well. It's like, I don't know. I have a lot of friends in Ontario now. I have a lot of friends in Calgary as well, but it's like, if you live in one place, I guess if you live in one place, that doesn't mean you'll never see people who live in a different place. Especially like with the internet. With the internet, anything is possible. But I don't know. There is definitely a difference between interacting with someone face to face than online. So I guess like you could like do like, oh, maybe that'll be a thing. Where it's like, you'll all go on vacation. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to hang out with my friend. And like, let's say I live in Calgary and he lives in Hong Kong. And then I like put on my virtual reality goggles and then like, we're just at, I don't know. I want to say oh yeah, you could do it for drinks. Like, oh, I'm going to get drinks with so-and-so. And then you just go down to your basement, put on your glasses, and then you have your own drink, and then it's like you're in this virtual bar, and then all of your friends show up in this virtual bar, and then you're all drinking like, I don't know, whatever you want to drink. You bring your own drink, like, or there's like you can pay like different like virtual coins. Like, oh, it'll probably be like gems or something like that. If it's anything like today's like pay as you go. So it's like you could just bring like a water bottle with you, or like you could bring like your own beer and have it in the game. But the game developers don't like that, and they want you to buy virtual drinks. So it's like you'll have like a skit. So like if you just are a free player, you'll just have like your regular lame beer, like that you brought, and like the other people are just gonna see like an ad on your hand or something like that, and then you have the people who pay for it, and they're gonna have like these cool skins, so it'll be like a big like Viking horn or something that they're gonna drink out of, or like a big mug or something like that, and then you like pay for the skins, and then if you have to like, you're hanging out with your friends, and then in the middle of like your one friend, he's telling a really good joke, then there's like an advertisement that like pops up, and it's just like, I don't know, credit, or no, what is it? Capital One. So remember I said that Capital One thing earlier? That's funny. Go me. Salt joke. But yeah. So yeah, maybe that's where the world is going. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Just virtual hangouts with your home hombres from all over the world. That's the cool thing too, because like I think that probably will happen at some point, because I don't know. I feel like especially the internet, crazy place. But if you travel, you meet people from all over the world. Like right now, I'm living with a guy from Germany and a guy from Malaysia. And so like when we leave here, it's like, I don't want us to be like, oh, see ya, never. I want us to be able to throw on some VR goggles and like go get beers and then talk to each other. Well, go get beers. I'd probably like drink water or something. But yeah, even so, like, yeah, you want to like hang out and just be like, or like you're all sitting in like, you could be like playing pool, like virtual pool, but like it's still like a face-to-face interaction. So that'd be cool. That'd be cool. But then you never leave your house. That's the other thing as well. So how do you deal with that? There's only so much time. Only so much time in the day. Only so much time in your life. I don't know. I still think that'd be cool. Yeah. We won't get bogged down in those, what do you call it, existential questions. This podcast. We'll save those for a different one. Yeah, VR is cool. Yeah. Oh, do you know what'd be cool too? It's like you could send people to give virtual hugs, but it's like not an actual virtual hug. It's like you send someone. It's kind of like Uber. It's like Uber for hugs, and then you just send some random guy to go and give your friend a hug. And you like pay him like I don't know, like $1 or two, and then this guy just shows up your door, knocks on your door. It's like, is Raiden here? I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, this is from your friend. I don't know. I don't want to single out any of my friends. Like this is from person X, and then he's like, and he comes in and gives me a hug. He's like, you guy, and then yeah, and then you get a hug. So like, that's nice. So yeah, that could be a thing, interesting thing. Just like it's like I guess that's like they used to call those. I don't know. Not telegrams. Maybe a telegram. I don't know. They'd send people to your door to like it's like the Buddy the Elf thing. An elf. I've never received one of those, but that'd be kind of a fun thing. Just like hug Uber. What would you call it? Hoober or hugger? I don't know. I feel like you might get a lot of lawsuits out of that one. Might be people who get a little handsy. Yeah. What other future things are cool? I don't know. Future's a cool place. Be able to print organs pretty soon, so you can just like have a. I bet that's going to be a thing in the future. You know how there's this whole Bitcoin craze? It's like, I gotta buy a supercomputer to mine me some Bitcoin. I bet in the future, I bet the 3D printing is gonna be like it's gonna kind of be like the same thing. Once you're able to 3D print organs, you're just gonna have guys who have their basement full of these 3D printers, just printing a bunch of hearts or lungs or something. It's like it's just like something that you'll just be able to buy on Kijiji. It's like damn, my lung's going. I'll hop on Kijiji here. You could go to like a dealership, get a top of the line lung, but you're like, why would I do that? I just want to get like something that's going to last me like 3 to 5 years, and I'll just get a new one. Whereas like the other one's like, you'll never have to buy a new lung again. And you're just like, psh, that's all hogwash. I'm just going over to Jimmy's house. He's been printing these things for the last 2 or 3 years. Just get one that's, what do they call it? Not amortized, depreciated a little bit. Just like, it's on the resale market. Yeah, because you'll have those. It will be kind of like golf clubs. You have the people who buy like the new golf clubs each year, and then they just sell the old ones. So those guys who buy the new lungs each year, and then he just sells the aftermarket lungs at a discount. That's probably going to be a thing. That'd be cool. I wonder how much longer people are going to live in, like even like 50 years from now. I wonder what the average life expectancy. Well, it probably will go up for. What's the thing about? I think the U.S. is it went down because of opioids, but like in other countries it went up. I'm sure Canada has gone up. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun though. Yeah, that's a weird thing with this as well. Is like I have like these earplugs in, and I swear to God I can hear my phone buzzing, like as if it's ringing, but it's like in my pocket right now, so I would have felt it, but like I don't know what it is. I think it's just like one of those phantom things. It's like my brain being like, I looked at my phone, it must be ringing, pick it up. Maybe, I don't know. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, lungs. Yeah. So I don't know. 2020, top of the line lungs. Look out for them. They're gonna be there. Yeah. I wonder where they're gonna print the most lungs. I think it's gonna be China or or India, or maybe it's going to be like in the U.S. Bringing jobs back to America, and then it's just a bunch of people like printing organs in their homes. I'm an entrepreneur. With the power of the internet, you can make $10,000 in your home just by printing organs. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. You could get like super lungs as well. People are going to start modding their lungs, so their organs. So it's like, oh, you have like a heart that kind of like have a valve, like your valve like pops out. So it's like kind of like it's like, you know, like those, like the engine on like on a muscle car. Like they have that thing that pops out on the hood of the car. Like the exhaust thing. It's like at the front. I don't even know if it's an exhaust thing. It's like to get more air in, you could like do that. Have like a little hood off your chest coming out. Just like start modding your body like crazy. Have like hydraulics, so it's like you're just standing there, but you're like going. Probably do that. Oh yeah, people are probably gonna just like replace their feet for rollerblades, for sure. That's the first thing that I would modify. You'd just be able to get around so fast. It would suck for like escalators though. I don't know. You could do escalators on a. That'd be quite easy. Oh, but like if you're like walking through gravel or something, you need like some button to click to like switch back to regular feet. That'd be cool. Yeah, I think body modification is going to be a big thing. Big thing in the future. I don't know if that will be my generation, but probably one or two generations after. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool. I wonder who's going to be the first mover on that one. I don't know if it maybe I don't know, a pharmaceutical company? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it'll be just like a totally brand new industry. Body modification industry. Go to the dealership, get your body tuned up. It's like, yeah, hospitals are going to become more and more like car dealerships. Then you'll have like mechanics, like, yeah, you have like one-off mechanic shops, be like the Cal Tire for the human body. And then you'll have places where it's like, oh, premium Porsche body. Oh, maybe that's what we're going to see, because like cars are all going to be driving themselves. So it's like, it's not so much the car that's the status symbol. You go and purchase bodies. So it's like, get like this super sexy 6'6" ripped dude, and you're looking hot, and it's really just a 657-year-old who's just I don't know, some super rich dude. And it's just like ooh, and that's and he has just like a big like horse on his chest. Oh, he's got the new top of the line Ferrari. Nice. And then you have old beaters, so you like, yeah, it's kind of like that lung thing I was saying. So you'll have like this 20-year-old dude, but he's in like this 99-year-old body. It's like, just you wait. Wait till I get there. Just you wait. That'd be a good movie. I wonder if there's a movie like that. I don't know. If you make a movie like that, I'd like to see how it plays out. Yeah, I wonder what houses will look like. Do you think people will live in houses, or it will be more like pods? Like you live in your pod, but then it's just makes sense to just like sleep somewhere, and then you just like recharge your body. Maybe your body's electric, so it's like you're kind of have like a port, and you plug your feet into it, and you get charged up. Just have a body. I wonder when that's going to happen, like the integration of like or like the upload of your mind to the internet. And then that's like a whole philosophical question as well too, is are you Like, at what point are you your body or are you your mind? What are you? Like, when you're able to split those two things. Like, let's say it's like, oh yeah, it's like that virtual reality thing. It's like you're interacting in the internet, and it's like you don't actually have to. It's not your physical self going to that bar. It's just your cerebral self going to that bar. So you put on this, like, it's not even a VR goggle headset. It's just like, it's more like the Matrix. You just like plug this big syringe into your head, and then you like get transported to like to this virtual bar somewhere, and then it's more real. Then it's that thing about like the advertising thing. That's more real then, because it's like you could actually be paying for a physical beer, but it's like it's actually just hitting your brain with the neurotransmitters to feel like the kind of like the taste of beer, and then the illusion of drunkenness, or not even your physical brain, but your cerebral brain could be like making itself drunk, and then you're like you pay for that. And that's like but I don't know why you wouldn't be able to just do that like once you upload it, because I don't know. That's a question for the engineers out there. But yeah, like I was saying, and then like let's say it's like, you know, you upload yourself there, and then like someone, you know, like as you're in the virtual world, like your body's in the shop. People are like, oh, this arm, it sucks. It always gets separated. Just take it off. They rivet you back up, and you get back. It's like, damn, I'm all fresh. Now you can do stuff in the physical world. So there's this. Yeah, it's like your life becomes two things. It's like you have your life in the virtual world, and then your life in the physical world, and they both are not simultaneously. I wonder if they could simultaneously go on, because like you could upload a copy of yourself to the virtual world. You could be doing stuff in the virtual world, and then you could also be doing stuff in the physical world. So you could be living. Oh, I wonder if I don't know if that would be possible. But that would be interesting, especially like if you're thinking of like space travel, because what you could do is you could have yourself, so you're at home, right? So you're in Earth, and then you have like a copy of yourself in this body, and it's what is going out in a spaceship, and it's traveling the universe. So you're traveling the universe, and you could be essentially forever traveling the universe, and then, oh no, we met aliens, and they destroy the spaceship. It's like, oh, your version of yourself died on the spaceship, but then there's still a copy of you. Just pop in a new body. It's like, oh, look, I'm still alive. And then maybe like that part of you is corrupted, so it's like you don't actually know what happened. Maybe they sent out like a little bit of signal, so you have some of the memories from that, and you can be like, oh, watch out for those aliens. But maybe you didn't, and then you just be like, and then you like go out and like do something, like they'd go and explore, and you could go test out like how you died. Be like, oh, like that's how I died. The aliens killed me. But we know how the aliens killed me. So like, blah, 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 we can beat their tactics, kind of thing. That'd be interesting. I think that'd be a good sci-fi book, or another good movie. If you're a sci-fi writer or a book writer, that one's on me for free. Yeah, that would be really cool, actually. I bet that's super possible. I wonder if that's how it's going to go. Maybe. Or maybe just some people are going to do that. Oh, man, right there. I just checked again because I was like, oh, my phone. But nope. Still not buzzing. Still just me. Still a dark room. All alone. Just me and my thoughts. My laptop with a black screen. Recording me shooting the shit to myself. Well, that got sad. Anyways, yeah. So that'd be cool. What else? It's getting me pumped. I like talking about this stuff. I like talking about the kind of like what the future could be. That's the thing about the future. You don't know. Anything's possible. If you can dream it, you can do it. I was saying that a lot yesterday. That'd be cool. I wonder what... yeah. Because that could totally... That would totally be able to work. So it's like, you just like, you're uploaded, and it's like you're on this like the main hard drive, like protected like by like a million nukes going out the other way, and then you just keep uploading yourself onto like a new like little new host. Then you just gotta, so you're living, yeah, you could be living, you could have like simultaneous lives going on. So like, think, if you ever like think in your mind, it's like, oh, like I could be this, I could be this, like I could be a firefighter, I could be a policeman, I could be a Tylenol salesman. You could do all of those things all at once. Then you could live those experiences. But I don't know if you would actually be living those experiences, or like, because you'd probably, in that case, you would probably be doing that in some virtual world, but in the physical world, you would be doing, I don't know, something useful to like everyone, like the economy, like the world, the world, like, so other people. So like, if you're ever thinking about like, oh, I could be like, I think you would play that as a game, kind of. It's like the game of life. So like your cerebral self would be playing that game, while like your other self could be like doing useful things for the planet Earth. So like that's like going out and doing space travel, or going out and I don't know, like fixing something, like something that broke down on the planet, or I don't know. Right, maybe like going and talking to maybe like some other person who's sad. Like there could be like, maybe like when they get sad, it's like that starts like messing up with things. Like, because, well, I guess that's the thing too, is like once you get to that point, it's like, are you going to be sad ever again? Because like I think sadness is part of like the human experience, right? And like being human is cool because like you can be sad, you can be happy, but it's like, it's not really, you don't really want to be one of those things at all times. You want to kind of be a combination of those things at different times, because like when you're really sad, it's like you appreciate the happiness moments, and then when you're really happy, like even if you met someone who, like I don't think I've ever met someone who's like just happy all the time, but it's like I don't know if it's like you need to be like happy all the time, because there's things that are going to happen that, like, you know, like let's say someone close to you like passes away. Like that's not, you're not happy about that. You're sad about that, but it's like all of the happy moments that you had with that person. That's like part of the human experience that makes life really beautiful. So I don't know, when we upload ourselves, like, are we going to keep that part of ourselves? Or I guess no one's going to die anymore. So it's like, does it make sense to have sadness? I don't know. That's another weird philosophical question there for you. Not even philosophical, but existential. Yeah. In the meantime, we still have happiness, we still have sadness, and life goes on. So that's good news, I guess. What time is it? 7:33 p.m. That is totally not right. What time is it actually? Open date and time preferences. Oh yeah, it's locked. I wonder if this is going to screw up. It's 12:14 p.m. Yeah, it's gonna. Anyways, I've been talking for. I think this totally screwed up my thing. Yeah, so I may or may not totally corrupt the data file. So we will see. I may have just been talking for no reason, but anyways, thank you for tuning in to my first podcast. I was talking for about 2 hours on the time clock, but then I switched my date and time preferences, and now it says I've been talking for 15 hours, which that would be really interesting. Anyways, I enjoyed our chatting to a screen. Well, no, it wasn't a screen, because the screen was dark. I enjoyed just airing out some quality thought. Anyways, yeah, so that was my first official podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow, maybe?